reckon. First quarter from the Western Oval, and Libba starting on the bench. A most unusual move in the Footscray camp. Grigich goes up, loses that one, knocked away by Burton. Chance for, that was Mildenhall to try to get clear. Ball booted up back towards half forward. Footscray player goes down. That was Ramiro. Umpire elects to let it go. Now he's come in, a holding the man decision. And it's going Footscray's way.
Well done, Ramiro, going for the mark against the tide there.
Collinyuk and chipping in spite of Burton to take the mark inside his own defensive 50-metre area. Osborne will stand the mark. Osborne back into a little bit of form last week. Mark taken out there by Shane Parker. Parker at halfback. With 3 AFL games against his name. This is Man. Certainly much more AFL experience.
Took 10 marks in the first half against Geelong last week.
He did pretty well, didn't he? Got experience with North, marking contest at half forward. Ridley, Waters. Now here's a chance. McGovern steadies, one step, fires deep into the forward line. Croft and Hutton. Croft content to take it out. Could have almost received a free kick. Wallace goes on with the job, or fumbled by Smith. And the Footscray defence under pressure. And a bad kick. Kicked it straight to Wills. Gets on with it quickly. Excellent. And a mark is taken by Peter Miller directly in front of goal.
Yes, and he put a lot of pressure on Miller in that forward area. Pete, he chased in, and after Hutton put pressure on the back line there of the Doggies. The kick coming out from Smith, not good at all. Found Wills, and fortunately he turned around at the right time. He had to go on with his back to play. Wouldn't have seen Miller.
So Miller from 45 out goes at goal. Might have drifted away. Well, why did the goal umpire? I think it might be a goal. It is. And that's probably worth 2 or 3 into the breeze. First blood of the Dockers. 1 goal. Footscray yet to score.
Yes, and because Spider Burton was prepared to go into that back area and take a mark, he created something. Man gave him a target on half, or on the wing there. He got the ball up forward, and the crumbs coming from Scotty Waters, and Wills, accepting that poor kick from Smith, turned around at the right moment, and Miller converted.
So the bounce back in the centre favours Grigich, and he gets a big right fist to it, down to half forward. The ball spills to the back. Lane and Chisholm. Chisholm didn't have the football. Lane grabs him by the jumper. Chisholm's free kick at left half back. Goes across the half-back line, risky business, but the mark is taken there for the Dockers by O'Reilly. Very steady performer in their 4 games so far in the AFL, Stephen O'Reilly. He's got the ball about 30 metres out from the Footscray goal. The Dockers content to waste precious seconds going into the breeze, but I think goals can certainly be scored at that left-hand end. Going to ground there was Ben Allen, didn't have the football, and the Dockers captain will take the free kick at right half-back. Defensive side of the ground at the Western Oval. Good kick. Finds Burton. Burton quite agile for a big man. Runs his full 15. Kicks in towards full forward. Croft misses it. At the back, nearly taken by Burrows. Chopped off by Wallace. Wallace's kick. He's good. Out into the path of Johnson. The ball favours eventually Brad Johnson. A state representative potentially is Johnson. The ball now with Ramiro. Ramiro, an ordinary kick by Jose to half forward. And off the hands of Richard Osborne, and Parker for a boundary throw in right half forward for Footscray.
Just the 1 score in the quarter so far. Windy is the word today, although it's not too bad at the moment by Western Oval standards. It's a throw in right half forward for Footscray, and the Doggies yet to score in the first quarter, going with this breeze. We reckoned about 4 goals, but Fremantle already have got one into it. Mildenhall taps it over the line. Let's go down to Dipper on the boundary. What's it like down there?
Well, prior to the game, I would have said 4-goal breeze. All of a sudden, it's become very, very still.
Okay, so we can score at both ends. Well, probably as good a toss to win as we might have thought. Grigich going in solidly. McGovern comes out with the football. Shepherd by Burton. Kicks it up towards the wing. Almost a mark taken by Man. Good use of the body. Footscray's football. And it comes to Cameron. Best and fairest winner at the Western Oval. The 2 number 11s. Past Kickett. Chance for the Dogs now. Past McGovern. Ramiro runs onto it well. Goes long at goal. And hit the post. So first score to Footscray. Kicked by Jose Ramiro. He just took a break at the wrong time. The difference 5 points.
Sure, have Liberty.
Well, I was going to say, Robbo, you just mentioned that to me before, off air, just saying that what the hell's he on the bench, but interesting move by Joyce, and must have his reasons.
Sometimes they do that, Ross, to throw the tagger, don't they?
Well, he's good enough, Pete. I think he should be on the ground. I mean, he has won a medal, and he knows how to play footy.
O'Reilly's kick. Burton from behind punches. Oh, no, he doesn't punch. It's a mark to Hargraves. It's the ball out towards the centre of the ground. Grigic, good hand pass away. Chance for Collingwood. Collingwood goes long into the goal square. Osborne, one hand to it, off hands, and through for one behind. Footscray's second score. The difference now 4 points.
Yes, nearly Grigic's got to be very careful that Matthew Burton doesn't run away from him continually. He's very prepared to run around and be creative. Got to pick him up. He's had the flu during the week.
Kick in. Oh, puts Ben Allen under enormous pressure at centre half back, and the umpire will call for a bounce. At this stage, the Dockers have kicked a goal. Footscray have got just 2 behinds, but it's still very early in the first term. And Footscray have a chance to score from here. Burton. Waters taking from Ben Allen. Wider still. This is a chance for Edwards. Edwards, again, one of the Dockers contributors in their first 4 matches. The short kick is okay, and the mark has been taken by Burrows. Burrows goes down the wing into the path of Leach, but a good effort, top effort in the finish by Quill to knock it clear for a throw-in. It's in the Dockers forward half, deep at right half forward, perhaps between wing and right half forward, favouring Fremantle, and it'd be 3 kicks from their goal. Stanfield gets it down to the front. Still a struggle for possession. Kick forward by Ramiro, and a good mark to Grigic. Skillful player, but that kick is not all that brilliant. To half foot, what a gather! Gee whiz, that was nearly brilliant football by Grant. Lane gets his left foot to it, goes to full forward, attacking the ball strongly was Parker, but equally as fierce was Grant, and the bump was a beauty. Hargraves, now the chance for Grant. He tries to flip it to the advantage of Lane. Lane gets a sweeping hand pass. Grant taps it down. Hargraves, snapshot for goal, is missed and registers Footscray's third behind.
How about that bump?
A beauty.
Yeah, the pickup, as you said, Robert, by Grant for a fella that big on the half volley was just terrific, and to get the ball off quickly as he did, even better.
3 points the difference. 3 scoring shots to 1. Riley getting plenty of advice from the crowd. He'd probably go for Burton. No, he doesn't. Goes in shorter than that and finds Shane Parker. Chisholm, as Ross mentioned pre-match, one of the informed players of the Dockers so far. Played a great game against Geelong. Now it comes down to Burrows from Mildenhall to half forward and Wills. Good tackle applied by Smith. Ball jarred free. Miller looks for the hand pass. Wills on the end of it. Constructive. The shot at goal. Coming back. Oh, he's kicked it. Great goal. So Wills a hand in the 2 Docker goals so far, and a handy lead. 2 goals to 3 behind.
It's good work by Burrows on the wing to get the ball down there, and then good hands. And Miller, good pace, keeps his feet, always very strong player from East Perth. And then Wills, this is his ability really, getting the ball free and shooting from about 48 metres. Terrific goal.
And you wouldn't think a goal had been scored there. Not too many cheers from the supporters here at the Western Oval. Fremantle lead by 9 points, but Footscray go forward from the centre bounce. The kick goes in towards full forward. Grab when he didn't have it was Grant. Umpire calls play on. This is McGovern running clear of half-back. Footscray fans don't like that decision. McGovern's kick too far for Burton. In the centre of the ground, it's taken by Quill. Handball. Callett. Back he goes. This is Rowan Smith. Rowan Smith, a long kick by that player towards full forward. Going down to ground was Grant, but collected by Chisholm. Chisholm runs away from the full-back line and delivers very efficiently. Edwards is marked at right half-back. Edwards goes in short. The mark is taken by Waters, and Waters is nearly up near the wing, but the Dockers prepared to kick short and waste time. Kick goes to the wing. Oh, brilliantly gathered by Allen. Just slipped out of his grasp and over for a boundary throw in centre wing. Right in front of the coach's box on the far side of the ground.
The old coach's box.
Ruckman, Stanfield and Peter Mann. Ball comes to ground. Waters. Collingwood gets the hand pass clear. Not quite far enough, but Cameron does well. Ramiro goes to ground. Gathered again by Cameron. Handball away. This is Quill. Already had 4 possessions. Kicks wide out of the path of Grant. Bounce is good for that player. He gets around onto his right foot. The short pass is beautiful. Hits Osborne right out in front. And Richard Osborne, all he has to do here is gauge the breeze and the direction. He'll get the distance easily.
Good play by Graham, wasn't it, Robbo?
Skillful player for a big boy.
The Footscray players from the middle of the field just wanted the ball a bit more than the Dockers.
Osborne's kick for goal is perfect. Goal to Footscray.
Bit of luck and knowledge in that kick.
Well, you'd have to think that there's a few Fremantle players that have played a bit of football here, but all of the Footscray players, Ross, have, well, they train here 3 or 4 times a week as well as play here.
Perhaps Dipper's correcting that call too. Not that I'd ever question him, of course, but that breeze, I think, obviously has dropped a little bit. He read that beautifully. And the play by Grant to get it to him initially, first class.
Richard Osborne back in form last week, and a goal on the board today in the first quarter. Burton and Grigic line ball that one. Burton tries to farm it out. McGovern onto Waters. Waters' kick up towards the 50-metre line. Marking contest down there. Once again, it's Miller. Elusive in the first quarter. Croft should get there first, or he might be content to see it over the boundary line, which he does. It will be thrown in the Dockers' left forward pocket. 16 minutes left in the first quarter. It's going to be Burrows, number 33, against Danny Southern. A bit underdone the last time I saw him. Waters, constructive as usual, doesn't waste that one and finds the skipper. Outside 50 against the breeze. Ridley makes a lead.
Well done.
Beautifully done. Oh, he's dropped the mark. He plays on, gets onto his right foot and kicks. He might have got that one as well. It's a goal.
See, that was a bit easy, wasn't it?
Well,
too easy.
The thing being, Robbo, which John Barnes said after the Geelong game last week, he said where we fell into the trap, this is the Geelong players, was just assuming that the Dockers players wouldn't kick it to a fella who they thought was either going too short or across ground. What you can't afford to do with the Dockers is let a player go free and just assume, no, he won't kick it to him because he's out of position. They just let Ridley go. He'd had a couple of leads, let him go free, and he finished up with the footy.
Well, Ridley, after dropping the mark that he perhaps should have taken, has kicked the Dockers' third goal. Cameron's handball, very loose there to Smith. In goes Edwards. Edwards will get it back again, and then the short pass towards the half-forward area. Hutton at the back, the ball spills for Wills. He might get his second. He's kicked to the front of the square. Attacked fiercely by Watts, taken by Kellett. Kellett handballs wide. Brilliant gather in the finish by Quill. Quill onto the left foot, kicks down towards the half-back area, but it's taken there by Allen. Ben Allen kicks into the pocket. Well done. Good pass, and Wills has got it again.
Yes, it was Wills who was able to do what a forward can do, and that's take a punt and sit back off the play, and all the Footscray players have gone forward expecting the ball to be cleared. It wasn't, and of course he sat there back on his own, and Ben Allen uses the ball beautifully on most occasions. There's another example.
Well, Wills has already kicked one, Ridley has kicked one, and Peter Miller has kicked a goal for the Dockers. Wills going for his second, and he makes no mistake. So the Dockers against the wind have kicked 4. 4 straight to 1-3.
Yes, and that really was a result of poor checking. As I mentioned, the Footscray backs have gone forward. Ben Allen cut them off across the half-forward area, and of course when he gets the ball in that area about 60 or 70 metres out, he always uses it beautifully. And Wills on his own by about 30 metres.
Andrew Wills a hand in 3 goals. He's kicked 2 himself, and the Dockers off to a flying start. 24 plays 9 at the Western Oval in the first quarter. And here they come again. Kicked out by Peter Miller towards half-forward. Wills on the burst, now West. Footscray fans looking for a free kick, claiming a holding decision. There was none there according to the umpire. Mildenhall tries to paddle the ball further forward. Succeeds in doing that. Ramiro's hand pass is effective. Smith on the move from a standing start. Kicks inside 50. A marking contest, and Hargraves has got it. With the breeze at his back, should be able to get the distance. And finally, Liberatore coming on the ground, much to the delight of the crowd.
Brad Johnson, the fella coming off, but looks like he's got a bit of a leg injury there, I think.
And we asked why. I'm sure Alan Joyce has his reasons. So Danny Hargraves kicking from right on 50 to the Mount mistake into the ground. Go, umpire doesn't move. Full points. And a much needed one for Footscray. Hargraves, he's kicked 1-1 so far out of Footscray's tally of 2-3, and the difference is back to 9 points.
got very good goal sense, Denny Hargraves. Knows where to go. The mark was very good, as we might just see this again in replay. The ball coming down to him. There he comes high, and he's read it best. Just kept control of it. I thought O'Reilly might have come through and just got a punch away, but Jones couldn't stay with him. Well played, Hargraves.
Bounce back in the centre, and Grigic is beaten for it by Big Burton. Ball spills, Liberatore straight into the action goes Tony Liberatore towards full forward. That could have nearly been a free kick. Not paid. Away go the Dockers, and Leach it is that kicks it in towards the centre, and the mark is taken there by Edwards. Edwards plays on, kicks wide, out in front of Mann, and he doesn't let him down and takes the mark in front of Stanfield. Stanfield and Mann at right half forward, the little kick. Ben Allen's done some good running there. Kicks in towards the half-forward area, but a good mark taken by Rowan Smith. He plays on quickly, kicks it across the half-back line. Ramiro gets it on quickly to Stephen Wallace. Wallace can go to Southern, but he goes down the wing. Looks out here for Lane. Lane and Chisholm. Well done by Chisholm. Dispossesses the Footscray player, and a boundary throw-in will take place.
Yeah, Spider Burton coming off and Wardell Johnson to come on. Burton's had the flu all week, so he's played pretty well early.
Fremantle have kicked 4 straight. Footscray 2-3. The Bulldogs going with the aid of a slight breeze.
Boundary throw in. Quill. Ramiro from a standing start, and he succeeds in fighting Kickett, which he does. Opens it up again. Opportunity out wide for Jones. Hargraves pressuring him. Jones wins out that duel. Kick inside 50. Good mark taken by Barry Stanfield at the true centre-half back position. Fish, they say. The boy from Fish Creek kicks to centre wing. No mark taken. Going up high was Costa. Chance for a rebound now to the Dockers. Excellent smother. Burrows had it. He's lost it. It was Costa again. And the Doggies once more go forward. That was Keller. Wallace to half forward. And the mark is taken by Tyson Lane. Youngster from Melton.
Go for goal, it's unguarded.
Certainly made his name this year. Good long kick. Just a little bit too long for Chris Grant. Over his head and one behind. Kicked by Tyson Lane, his first score of the day. 2-4 to the Bulldogs. Fremantle 4 straight. The difference now 8 points.
Yeah, Scotty Waters on the wing. Previously he had control of the ball. Should have given the handball off instinctively the first time. Went to do it the second time. The Footscray players intercepted. Goal nearly resulted.
Wiley getting plenty of advice again from the crowd at the Geelong Road end. Goes out wide. Hargraves in front. Can't take the mark. Excellent hand pass. Liberatore. Cameron. Grant! Oh, nearly the mark of the day. Off his hands. Crowd claiming a mark, but not given.
No, you couldn't play that, but it was a great effort. Terrific effort, but on a day like today, let's watch it again.
One grab, 2. Well, gee, I don't know if you paid Gary Ablett last year at the G.
Last year for something like
that. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I wouldn't have paid Ablett's mark anyway.
B2. 2-5 Footscray. Fremantle are 4 goals. As long as the umpires are consistent, and this rule for kicking in is rubbish.
It's ridiculous, isn't
because kicking against the breeze, they are just taking all that time to kick it in, and then eventually the umpire comes in and forces him to kick it out wide to the boundary line, where we'll have a throw in about 65, 75 metres from the Footscray goal. And Dipper's got a report on Brad Johnson.
Yeah, Robbo, Brad Johnson just had a kick on his right knee. It's been taped up at the moment and iced.
Now the Dockers again. Waters taking the hand pass from Burrows. Tries to draw a man. Loose ball on centre wing. Good gather by Collinyuk. Off the side of his boot. May still be to the advantage of his side. The Dockers have the numbers though. This is Chisholm. Grab when not in possession. Oh, met very solidly. Ball jarred free. Mildenhall keeps going. Picks it up nicely on centre wing. Charges down the flank. A couple of bounces. Draws a man again. On it goes to Miller. Not a good hand pass. Put man under plenty of pressure. Lovely tap out. Chance for Hutton. Snappers there. Off target. Ridley at the back. Too long. Hit the post and one behind.
They're lucky there because the handball from Scotty Waters again without jumping, and he's back on the other wing to nowhere. He could have kicked longer. Really cost them the turnover.
Leon Cameron often kicks in. He's going to do that here. West. He's the best and fairest winner at Footscray. It was in 1993. And away he goes. with the breeze, plenty of distance to the outer side, looking for Grigic. Burrows nearly beats him. Edwards paddles it forward. The skipper's been at everything this quarter. Ben Allen, umpire next to let it go. Here goes Libba.
Liberatore draws the player and then gets the hand pass wide. This is Costa. Could nearly kick a goal if he can get around. Now he'll shoot. Under pressure, the kick is ordinary, and the mark is taken by Chisholm, who's doing a pretty good job back there, minding his man and also getting a few possessions. His kick is wide, and the mark is taken by Kickett. Kickett still in Footscray's 50-metre zone. Kicks wide out towards half-back. Good mark taken by Parker. Closely tended there by Richard Osborne. Parker, right half-back for the Dockers. They've kicked 4-1. Footscray at 2-5. Big punch from behind by Stanfield. Near the gather there by Cameron. And it goes over for a throw-in. Centre wing. And Footscray, we repeat, certainly with a wind advantage, but just to what extent, well, we'll determine by half-time. Grigic gets it down. Waters couldn't get it clear. Edwards can, but it breaks down. It's Cameron running to left half forward. 3 bounces. Get onto your right foot. No, he loves to kick with the left, and he does it nicely. So far, goal of the day by Leon Cameron. That is a magnificent kick from deep in the left half forward area by Leon Cameron. Fremantle lead by 2 points.
It was a great interceptor. We might see this again. We just missed the handball coming off the ground, and Cameron read that beautifully. Intercepted, backed himself, had plenty of space to run into. It's a great kick.
Back to the centre. Great goal by Cameron. Mildenhall got one high. West. Long bomb towards half forward. Oh, great!
That's a good mark, Ross.
Terrific mark.
That's a real strong mark.
Excellent.
Yeah, for a bloke of that size, Robbo, that's his forte, taking marks. But taking them like this under pressure. You've got a bloke in front, bloke from behind trying to spoil O'Reilly. Well done.
That's a classic mark, that one.
That's Dunstall-like, isn't it?
Wasn't there some determination written on his face there as he gritted his teeth and leapt at it and grasped it out of mid-air?
A goal will put Footscray in front for the first time today. Breeze at his back, distance shouldn't be a problem. He'll kick from about 45. Dropped onto the boot nicely. Goal umpire hasn't moved. Full points, the doggies in front. Chris Grant's first. Many in the crowd saying perhaps should have been his second mark. 4-5 to 4-1.
No, that was definitely like Chris Grant. I wouldn't have played the first one, Pete. It was a great effort. And Scotty West getting the ball over the centre. That's terrific. That's exactly what you want on a day like today with the breeze. One kick, straight down the centre, looking for your target, a full forward like Grant. Get them down there as quickly as you can. Let him do the rest.
Well, Footscray have got the score that they would have required, but they've allowed the Dockers to kick 4 goals against the breeze. But well done by Grigic, down to Ramiro. Centre half forward contest, punched away. The defence of the Dockers now under a little bit of pressure. Jones goes after it, grabs the ball, then he drops it. So Footscray's persistence at half forward, not bad. Mildenhall gets it back. Oh, terrific little toe poke by Chisholm. Back to Mildenhall, in towards the centre of the ground. West taps it on. Gatherers by Collingham, then West. Good combination. West left foot kick towards full forward. Back goes Grant. The ball spills to the back. It now favours Leach. Taps it in front of himself and goes after it again. Good play by Leach. He is a terrific player for the Dockers across half-back. Third bounce. He carries the ball to half-back. Runs a little bit too far, but then gives it off to Waters. And the Dockers out of trouble. It looked a little worrying there at one stage, but they've got the ball now to half-forward. At the back, chance for Burrows, gathers it, gets onto his right foot, back onto his left, casually kicks in towards full forward, up it goes Ridley, couldn't take the mark. Second grasp at it, not bad. Wardell Johnson, left foot snap by Wardell Johnson, goes across the face and registers a behind.
Great shepherd too in the back half by Shane Parker to allow Leach to run down that back area. Good teamwork. McGovern's off and Jason Norris to come on for his first run.
Close to quarter time, 3 1/4 minutes left. 29 to 26 in favour of Footscray. Leon Cameron, as I said, does this a lot. He'll get up the ground pretty quickly too. Good long kick. Grigic and Burrows. Either a store gift candidate. Burrows goes over the line, takes the footy with him.
Free kick for
a push in the back. 2 or 3 kicks from goal. Short pass, Waters. He's been at everything in the first quarter. 8 possessions, good mark at half forward, taken by Mann against the breeze. Might be a little bit too far out to score. Chips it short, Wills. Well, he's been at everything, Wills. He's kicked to himself, had a hand in another one. So a real thorn in the side of the Footscray defence in the first quarter. Not too much on offer. No leads forthcoming. He's going to have a ping at goal himself. Former Geelong player. Kicks at goal, looks pretty good. It's drifting away at the last minute and 1 behind. 2 goals, 1 to Andrew Wills. So the scoreboard now 4-5 to 4-3. 2 points the difference. And again, Leon Cameron to bring it in. As Robbo said, Footscray got the score they wanted, but they've let a few through. The Dockers have done well into this breeze. They played here, of course, in round 3 against Fitzroy for their first win in the AFL. Cameron, again short. Finds Croft, he'll give it back to Cameron. Wills in pursuit. And West takes the mark right on the bounce. Now it's out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Fremantle.
Go straight down the ground.
Well, that's what they did the first time. They got it.
It's amazing stuff, isn't it? You know, you get 3 possessions and then give it up to the opposition, and they kick it to half forward. Nearly the mark to Mann. Oh, strong play. It's provided by Miller, but he wasn't able to take the football with him. And the umpire will call for a bounce. Free kick to maybe to the Dockers, Ross?
Well, I thought so. I thought Miller didn't have the footy when he's held there, but he'll always run straight at it.
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? He's a good, strong player.
My word.
And so is Edwards on the other wing. As the blood rule, Barry Stanfield to take a little bit of a spell on the bench. And Footscray taking a tall player off, or forcing to take a tall player off.
Freddie will come on.
Freddie to come back on. Come onto the ground for the first time, should I say. So, Prediuk, a stout defender to take over from Stanfield, but certainly centimetres lost there. As we have another look at Kellett, Stanfield, and then a little elbow there.
Accidental.
Accidental, as Peter said, but the umpire will bounce. Centre half forward for Fremantle. They've done pretty well in the first term. They've kicked 4-3. Footscray kicked 4-5. Grigic and Mann. In goes West, can't get rid of it. Cameron throws it onto his right foot, in towards the centre. The mark taken by Ramiro. Play on. Liberatore into the action very quickly. As soon as he got onto the ground, he got a position. Hargraves, the ball slips through to the back. The ball tapped clear. Kick it. Now Lane. Smith.
And he's back.
Johnson. Johnson goes in after it again. Now a chance for Jones. Gets it to Leach. Leach walks past his opponent. He's at centre half backs. A little kick. Norrish is marked close to the centre of the ground.
Norrish, who came onto the ground only a few minutes back from the centre circle. Low trajectory drop punt. Hutton the target. Got a fingernail to it, and that was all. Footscray with the numbers. Watts gives it away. This guy's been busy in the first quarter. He loves to run with the ball. That's Smith. Kicks to half forward or short of that position. Marking contest. Mopping up again is Miller, covering plenty of ground in the opening quarter. Still he goes. A couple of bounces. West giving chase. That's a good long kick into the breeze. Wills, Southern tries to punch. Wills gets back quickly. Oh, lovely pick up on the run. And goes at goal. It won't be a score. Bounce is going to be a factor. Credior coming away with the football, but it's over the line. And it will be thrown in at left half forward for the Fremantle Dockers. We have half a minute before quarter time. Good crowd in attendance today too. Footscray's form up and down in the last couple of weeks. Annihilated by Carlton. They got back at Princes Park last week to defeat Melbourne. And here he is again, Rowan Smith. Probably their best defender in the first quarter.
Good kick.
Should have been marked down there by Hargraves. He couldn't take it. Collinyuk, not a great hand pass. A turnover. It goes to Burrows. Burrows' kick is up towards half forward. Grigic lopes after it with the gloves. Gets around Waters. Short pass, up again. Lovely sight there. West takes it from Costa as the siren ends the first quarter. Good quarter of football. I think the Dockers would be more than happy with their efforts so far. With the scoreboard showing Footscray 4-5-29, Fremantle 4-3-27.
Yeah, Footscray, Pete, perhaps a little bit stunned initially by, again, the preparedness of the Dockers players to chip the ball around the half-back line of the Dockers creating, and their midfield getting plenty of the footy. And then it took a while for Footscray just to get their forward line settled. But once they went direct, Robbo, don't you think, as you mentioned, say with Cameron, why go to the side when you could come straight down the middle? Once they looked for Grant, and he was a target up forward, they look so much better.
Yes, it's an interesting game, actually, football these days, and obviously from Fremantle's point of view, very much possession. And while they had hold of the ball, well, they were depriving Footscray of any scoring chance.
That's right.
Speaking of scores, at the first change, 2 points the difference in favour of Footscray, 4-5 to 4-3.